Eslint is a linter tool that helps fix problems in JavaScript. So it just detects stuff that we may have done wrong and helps us out. That's going to help us out writing code. Any mistakes we might not see with our eyes, Eslint will help catch them. So the first step we're going to do is install Eslint. Then after that, we're going to fix Eslint to work with Prettier. And then we're going to make sure that VS Code is set up correctly to detect our Eslint settings and automatically detect things when we save or type. The first thing we're going to do is install Eslint. So here in the terminal, we're going to install npm install --save dev Eslint. Cool. We check our package.json and make sure Eslint is installed right here. The second step we're going to want to do is create a Eslint config file. And on the Eslint website, if you click Get Started, we already did this install part. To create the little config file right here, we're going to follow their recommendation, this @eslint config. So npm init @eslint/config. What this is going to do is ask us a few questions. So I'll walk you through these questions right now. First, we're going to check syntax and find problems. Let's do that. We don't want this in force code style because we have Prettier doing our coding style. So let's just do syntax and find problems. Now it's going to ask if we want JavaScript modules or common JS. And from all the code I've seen in Nightwatch, it usually uses the require exports. So we're going to go with common JS for Nightwatch. We're not doing React or Vue, so let's choose none of these. Our project does not use TypeScript, so we can just choose no. Our code is going to run in Node, not in the browser. And what format do we want this config file? Since we're already doing the Prettier stuff in the YAML format, let's just stick with that. YAML config. There we go. So now the result of that is an eslintrc.yaml file. Let's open that up. And it's got all that stuff that we just did. Yeah, the important thing right here is this extends Eslint recommended. The next thing we want to do is make sure that Eslint plays well with Prettier. So there is one more thing to install with Prettier, and if you ever forget this, you can go to Prettier's website and check this. So I'll just show you that really quick. You go to Prettier's website. It's prettier.io. Go to this install Prettier. If you look right here, integrating with linters, it has a few things here. I go with this first, this Eslint config Prettier, and this TSLint is if you use TypeScript. FYI, if you are using TypeScript in your projects. Let's click this, Eslint config Prettier. That takes us to the Eslint config Prettier website on GitHub. And it tells us how to install this. Let's go ahead and use this right here. npm install save dev Eslint config Prettier. I just copied and I'm pasting that right here. That was really quick. Now that we have that, we're going to want to add something to this extends. So first, let's change this into an array by putting these square brackets around it. And then the very last thing we want to put is Prettier right here. And it always has to be the last thing. So if you ever add anything here, like you have other linting plugins or stuff that you're extending, make sure that prettier always comes last. So this gets us most of the way there. The last thing we want to do is make sure that we have Eslint working with Visual Studio Code.